Cheers, doll.
Cheers.
Oh.
They're really nice glass.
Yeah, they are really nice, but
That didn't sound good. Wait, maybe I need to hold the...
Ah.
This is a bit scary. This is a bit scary near the laptop. No.
Nope.
That sounds like plastic.
Thank you to my mother-in-law for these wonderful glasses.
Thanks, Mummy.
We're having a gin with our episode, which I've immediately spilt on myself.
That's okay. It'll
That's
dry.
just the dyspraxic life. But you know what? I'm being real. I'm keeping it on. I'm being a mucky pup.
Keeping it 100. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there's a thing that's happening this week where, in the past week, where everything I'm saying is really millennial, and it's because I'm turning 30 this year, and what have I done?
Verging towards the middle period of your life.
Yeah, and it's like blindingly obvious that I'm not in my early 20s anymore.
Oh God, I should have written them all down.
One of them was I sang Crazy Frog.
Yeah. Just out of the blue.
I don't know where it came from.
You just sort of walked across the room going, ooh, 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 doing a little head bop.
Just enjoying my life.
It's quite liberating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Realising that you're not part of the young...
I think that's easy for you
Cool.
to say because you've been away from it for a while. You've already turned 30 and you started going out with me when you were like, 26 and I was 24. So it's a bit harder for me to bite. Swallow?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Swallow. It's harder for me to swallow than it is for you. I've been clinging on to my
You're
youth.
clinging on, which is less cool.
People at work are always like, you're 30 this year. I thought you were 25. So I'm always like...
People at work are always like, I thought you were 35. They've been like that since I was 12. I used to love it, and now I hate it. For the past 10 years, I've hated it.
Well, you know what? I think
What?
I like it. Obviously. It's fantastic for me.
Oh, sip break.
Flat tonic.
Flat tonic.
We bought the tonic for Daisy's birthday last week to have with these glasses and the gin. Thanks, Mum, again. And that's that. So it's the same tonic.
She got us very nice gin, but we couldn't make ourselves get very nice individual bottled tonic. We just got a big bottle of cheap one from the supermarket, which kind of ruins it, doesn't it? So now it's all flat. But it's still delicious.
I forgot that's why you would get individual ones so that you could...
Yeah, that's one of the reasons, yeah.
That is a perk. Also, we need to do that later.
We're having a drink in honour of the very boozy, what do you call it? Away stays?
Retreat. Couples, they call it the couples retreat, which it isn't a couples retreat at all.
No, it's a group retreat.
Quite. Before we jump in though
Yeah.
to the CC and the group retreat,
Yeah.
I'm bringing up CC because I did it just ring so loudly in your ears when Athena said
Yes.
CC. In this, we had a hard time in the CC
Because we haven't heard that since Timothy.
Oh yeah,
That was the first time I heard someone say it. But it must be something the production say.
totally. Like, get ready for the CC.
Yeah.
Now we're in it long enough this season to like pick up on it, but it's still just, it was a bit too loud in my ears. I wanted to discuss a couple of emails and comments that we received.
Yes.
So we got a really cute email from Lizzie. So she, again, sorry, Lizzie, I'm just assuming that you're part of the 30 party or heading into that territory because she said, was listening this morning while I was sewing, which is,
yes,
we agree, you should be doing that.
Looking
Sewing
after
is
your
fantastic.
mental health.
Yeah,
using
I
your
love
hands.
sewing
Lovely.
and also turning 30. But basically, Lizzie said that she was really glad that we both saw the same blaming apology regarding Paul and Karina, and about how Paul was like throwing the blame onto Karina. Really annoyed at the way that he played her. As soon as she said, no, I didn't stop you leaving, he starts crying and apologizing again. She doesn't stick up for herself again. I also find it's very interesting that Karina's said he's not like this. I've never seen that side of him in context of it being a violent argument. If they've never had a disagreement or an argument before, she doesn't really know what he's like when he's annoyed or how he acts when they are having a disagreement. So maybe he does behave like that in arguments and disagreements. She wouldn't know what he was like because they've never had an argument up until now. Hope you had a nice weekend in the sun.
That is a very good point, Lizzie, because this argument was very specifically, yes, he's proven that he's not someone that just bursts into anger and every day at like his cup not being washed up, but this anger was very specifically linked to jealousy, which he hadn't had such an overt reason to,
No, especially because they're just in a room together 24/7.
Yeah. And he's still trying to blame that on her, like in the commitment ceremony saying, oh, Karina thought it would be funny to say that she'd slept with this guy. Like there was still so much blaming in that. So yes, I agree. How do you know? And how do you know it's not going to lead to more?
Yeah, we also got a message. You read this on Instagram.
Yes.
From a listener who works in domestic violence help.
Yeah.
For victims.
Yeah. Support worker.
Thank you.
Who, she said that a wall punch would be very much seen as a red flag by her and people that she works with. So this is the general kind of vibe that we've got. We've got quite a few messages about it.
Yeah.
People saying on the one hand, like, yeah, this is total red flag and sign of worse to come. And on the other hand, like, this isn't shocking. Like, this is something that people have heard of. This is something that a friend's ex used to do regularly, who was a shitbag.
And that they were all kind of, a lot of our friends have been saying that they think the producers have been setting up the men to look so shocked by it and look so offended by it because it's so common that it's weird for them to be so anti it. Which is just interesting because it's just, I don't think we've ever, luckily, very fortunately, been involved with violent men, like intimately. I'm speaking for myself here, I don't know. I don't think you have either. So we have never seen that kind of behaviour. So it was hard for us to kind of like talk about. And I guess also what's funny is that they don't say that plainly on the podcast. They don't say that plainly on the show because like we're sitting here commenting on it and trying to work it out, and like everyone's just saying that behaviour is unacceptable. But I kind of want them to be like, this
is linked to
this.
I was just thinking the closest thing that I experienced was someone that I dated who went out and went to get money off a client that a client owed him money.
Oh gosh.
And like came back all like mad with like bleeding knuckles and said like, oh, I just fucked up his office or something.
Oh my god.
And
that's terrifying.
I was so scared because it was like even though I wasn't even in the presence of this thing happening, it still felt like a display of
look what
physical,
I can do.
Strength and power and volatility. So that was definitely a moment of like, yes, I don't think this is going to work out going much further.
And I guess Karina as well is obviously going to support Paul and say that she's not scared of him because she doesn't want that to happen to her.
Yeah.
So like, of course she's going to be more like on his side with this whole situation because she doesn't want him to get angry. We also had one more comment from someone on YouTube, which is obviously like a hellscape, but we haven't had to deal with too much on there yet. And this was quite a funny, I tried to look up her offering on YouTube and it was all a bit confusing. She had a lot of subscribers.
It was a woman.
Well, Miranda's World. Anyway, she said, I'm surprised that you don't know Veronica is an actress paid to go on the show to destroy Elliot. You do know that Aussie-land, which makes me ick, Aussie-land is horrendous, is a dystopian nightmare full of misandry. Glad Tony got rid of that spoilt, vile woman Morena. He grovelled too much. I don't like that. I was like, okay, pick me. Okay, pick me, Miranda's World. Also, Australia, Aussie-land being full of misandry. Sign me up, girl. If it was full of like misandry, I'd still be bloody living there. There's only like Clementine Ford who probably says that she's a misandrist. I might, sorry if you're not a misandrist, Clementine Ford, but I'm pretty sure you are because I'm an ally. And yeah, it's just, what a boring comment. It's so misogynistic. It's unbelievable in Australia. So whatever.
It's so casually misogynistic. I just can't get on board with this someone being a paid actor thing. Like, I think people can try and get a gig on the telly by showing the producers how annoying or mad they are and kind of like slightly tacitly promising to
But
do
what about
weird
Collins?
stuff.
He would have got loads of work.
But they wouldn't have known. They would have known Elliot was a bastard, but they wouldn't have known like the reception that he would have had until it aired. Like the idea of like they immediately got someone on to destroy him.
Yeah, I don't agree with it. I guess also this person who's commented is such a pick-me misogynist girl. She's like, look, not all girls are the same. I love men, and I'm going to point out all of these bad things about these women and what they've done. I'm like, okay, grow up. But anyway, just thought that was a bit of fun.
Lots of fun, darling.
Joy!
So, shall we talk about episode 21 first, and then we'll go on to episode 22?
Sounds great.
21, the CC.
The CC.
Well, seeing as we were talking about Veronica, should we talk about her and Elliot at the CC?
Yeah. This is something that does make me think, why are you here? Because obviously the thing where she said, why didn't you just tell me what your favourite colour was?
That was bizarre.
That was stupid.
Yeah. If you're going to think anyone's a paid actor, I can see why you would think it was Veronica, because her reactions to things are so weird. Yeah. But I still think she's like the way that when Mel was like, Veronica, I just wanted to ask, are you aware of the non-verbal cues you're giving off while Elliot's speaking? And she was like, yeah, I am, yeah.
I am, yes, yeah.
It's like, you're okay, so you know you're being a dickhead and rolling your eyes. That was just so like defensive. Like I'm not going to let myself get caught out. I'm going to say, yes, I am aware of everything I'm doing on purpose.
So bitchy.
Yeah, and stupid. I don't know. But she was dragged to the eventuality of having to admit that she'd made a mistake in how she'd acted. Just about.
But the thing I agree that the experts should do this to her and like make her see what she'd done wrong, because she needed to realise, because I don't think she knew.
Yeah.
But the men aren't being held to account in this way. I don't think, like, it was the way, I think like it kind of harkened back to like some of John Aiken's old behaviour, where he would miss quite a lot of intense like misogyny. Yeah. And get women to like go along with things that men were doing in a bad way. My point is that he was really, in a quite good way, asking Veronica loads of questions to be like, why have we said this to you? And like getting her to answer it in a really cool way. Adrian, nothing. Tumbleweed. And it all just went on as it was. And also he asked Athena in quite an intense, hard-line way, what do you like about Adrian? And then I'm like, what questions are you asking Adrian, though?
I know,
even though that question
did
need to be asked to Athena.
I know what you mean, but I think what the experts are doing is all ultimately to serve the show. They can't go so far that they're going to make somebody leave and then get rid of the drama. So like with Adrian, they keep turning a blind eye to, oh, you guys randomly want a writing stay, like we'll let that happen because that means you're in it for another week.
This is what I find difficult about this show.
Yeah, it is really frustrating. I do think that they've gone quite hard on some people. Also, Adrian, as we will discuss, I'm sure, is hiding away and trying to hide things, whereas you know, the experts only get to watch the dinner party. They don't get to see everything else. So Veronica like literally told the whole story of the letter, of everything, and her reaction to it. So they had something concrete to hold on to.
That's true.
To criticise her on. Whereas Adrian, they see him being a dickhead. They don't quite know. They didn't see the argument with the family.
Yeah, I do think that is a crap excuse though. And like, I'm sure you do too. Because I think there needs to be... people need to be held accountable in a better way. The way Athena was attacked was so awful.
But if you even ask like a domestic violence expert, like someone who deals with these relationships, they will always say you can't force somebody like Athena to leave. I'm not saying Adrian's being violent,
just as a kind of like a potential coercive relationship or an abusive relationship, just in general.
Yeah,
and I guess that is a good point, and maybe that is why they went so hard on Athena, with asking those questions, which I think she
Yeah.
needed to be asked, like, what do you like about him, which she still couldn't answer
because
and her answers were crap.
You want to like really the
I
only
keep saying
person.
crap. I'm sorry, I think that's another one of my going
I
into
love
dating.
that. That
It's
is-
crap. It's a load of crap.
I've been saying crap recently. And
Crap
people have
is
been
good,
laughing.
isn't it?
I love crap.
Yeah.
It's like a safe swear word.
I think it's because I've been so comfortable saying all the time that saying crap is a bit fun. Crap. What a load of crap. Satisfying
Crap. I'm old Grandpa Craps. I want to be Grandpa Craps.
You could be Grandpa Crap.
Thanks.
I'm not going to call you it. That's weird.
Ooh,
I like her. Who's she? Mrs. Ginny Giggle.
What was I going to say?
Who bloody knows?
The only person that really can tell, because you want to say to Athena, like, you have to leave now. You want to tell her what to do. The only person that can really say that is her twin, and she did that, but now she's been taken away again. And anyway,
in the real world, her twin will get her back. It'll be fine.
Yeah,
It'll be fine.
yeah.
I think. Fingers crossed.
I hope so. I wonder how like close they live to each other, how much they see each other. It must be a lot.
Is he from Perth or is she? She's from Perth.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, not him, because Josh saw his twin, and Josh isn't in Perth.
Wait, no, I don't know. Josh saw him.
No, his twin.
No, he saw him, and then he said he didn't know if it, unless it was, and then he said something like, unless it was his twin.
Oh. Anyway, he's
I
not
mean, it
in
doesn't
Perth.
fucking matter.
He's
It
not
could
in
have been his
Perth.
twin. No, but also, who cares? Athena, I'm seeing her name now. Athena, aged care worker, comma, WA. So
well
she's
done.
in Perth.
Well done.
Which means, my point is, sorry to say that she's in Perth, is that she will live close to her sister because Perth is 2 centimetres long.
Yeah.
Like my penis.
Is that so?
Wouldn't you like to know? Anyway.
So, what the fuck, Athena? Where has this?
Athena!
Where has this come from? I'm so sad about it. And you see him in this ceremony talking while everyone else is having their thing, whispering to her, "Don't talk about my family. We're not going to bring anything up." He must know it's because he's a villain. He must know, like, why is he trying to hold on to her when all he's shown is disdain for her?
Yeah, I don't know. It's so weird. And he was smirking so much.
Yeah.
It was so frustrating to watch.
It was so frustrating. And I thought she'd released herself from him because at the dinner party she said, like, usually I'm worried about him, but I'm not feeling like that now. But at this commitment ceremony, she said the opposite. Like, she was like, well, I just was thinking, I realised that I'm worried about his feelings, and that must mean that I really care for him. That's not the same. That's codependency. That's anxious codependency. Just because you're worried about his feelings doesn't mean that you like him or you love him.
Also, when you when you're on the verge of breaking up with someone, you care about their feelings.
Yeah, you get
them at a
mega
point.
anxious.
Yeah, more than ever, because you're like, oh God, they're going to be really sad and I'm going to maybe ruin their life. Because we're fantastic, so we've both thought that. Not about each other. You knew I meant in our previous breakups.
I know.
Because Slay, we both broke up with our last. Slay. Sorry, the gin's gone to my head. I only had soup for lunch.
Oh my God.
So I'm a bit drunky.
Too many liquids.
Anyway,
yeah, just what the hell? I just can't believe it. I cannot believe it. They're codependent. I'm sad because
he's not very fucking codependent on her.
He is. He is. But he's playing half of the role. Like, it doesn't, for two people to be codependent, I don't think it means that they both have to be like, oh, are you okay? Like, it means one of the people is getting in a mood and behaving badly, and the other person is caring. Like,
so that's just they're playing off of each other.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
like
interesting.
Rick and Chelsea.
Go over to our Patreon if you want to hear our hot takes on the final of White Lotus.
So
something else that's bothering me. Sorry, is there anything else you want to say on Adrian and Athena?
Yes.
Go on then.
I want to talk about the fact that when Nick asks her, what do you like about him? He can't say anything.
Who's Nick?
She can't.
Who the
You
fuck
can't
is
tell
Nick?
me that John and Nick is not exactly the same name. There's no difference.
They're so different. It's
God,
crazy.
how am I ever supposed to be confident that I know someone's name if I've known who John Aiken is for years now and
Almost
I've
a decade of your
just
life?
forgotten
No.
his name in a mid-sentence? Isn't he such a Nick though?
Are you thinking of Love is Blind, Nick?
Oh, Nick Lachey? No.
Well, then where the fuck did that come
John
from?
Nick.
Pardon?
John Nick.
No, darling, there's nothing. There's no comparison.
Shit. Anyway, she can't think of anything.
Yeah, what did she...
And then eventually she says, sometimes when he looks at me, he has such a caring look on his face. Because he wants to get in your knickers. Is that the only thing?
A caring look on Adrian's face is this.
Oh my God.
That's a hideous
literally
man.
the only thing. I just can't believe it.
No, I couldn't cope. I'm glad you wrote that down because I think I was so furious that she even said that I couldn't cope.
Yeah. Okay, what did you want to say?
Well, there's something that's been bothering me.
Yeah.
John has been saying greetings a lot. Greetings, greetings, men.
Well, participants, greetings.
Yeah, put
And he
the
does a lot
greetings
of-
back.
Putting his arms in his sleeves.
Do you think metrosexuality's back? I feel like I'm seeing a lot of it. I feel like John Aiken is a metrosexual. I don't know anyone else. There are
Clint.
some others. Clint.
Clinton is lint roller.
Maybe even Dave. Dave is actually hell metrosexual.
No, he's not.
He is.
He's not.
His neck tattoos are like a bit femme.
No, he's totally butch. That's
TJ?
why everyone fancies him. Do they? Only Jamie fancies him.
Interesting. Yeah, to be fair though, if I were to fancy any of the boys, I think it would be Dave. Yeah.
But that's because
Because he's hot. He's kind of hot.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I see it.
He's massive. He's like a
Big schlong.
He's walks around in shorts. Like he's just a lad, but he says nice things about women.
I respect him. And as we said in the last episode, he's consistent. We said he's consistent with his views, which
Right.
I think we both probably find attractive.
God, well, got it in.
There we go.
Look
Got
it
it
out.
in.
Got it in for Dave. Opposite.
Anyway. Yeah, opposite.
Call
right?
us.
Yeah. Do you remember how we were talking about our size 14 knickers last episode? You're welcome.
I don't think he likes size 14 knickers if he's going out with Jamie. Her knickers must be size -12.
Not our bras though, because those fake titties are ginormous.
Every time I write her name in my notes, I spell it Jaimee because
With my friend Jamie. That's how you spell my friend Jamie, my Australian friend Jamie's name.
that must be why.
That's why.
I just feel like it should be. I mean, it's quite unusual to see a girl spelt like the boy spelling of Jamie, isn't it?
No.
Damn.
And sorry, you have no leg to stand on with names today. And also Jamie from Summer Heights High.
Jamie.
So from Summer Heights High.
Jamie.
No, but the whole thing is that she's called Jamie.
Is
like
she?
that. Yeah, that's the joke. That it's stupid.
I'm trying to get some power back.
Nope.
Anyway.
You can't have it.
Yeah.
It's all mine.
Jamie.
That might be spelt like that as well.
I think it is.
It's definitely got two E's.
I feel
No,
like
not definitely. But
that's an Australian, spelling of it. So I'm surprised. But anyway.
Our friend Jamie's name, very unusual. Jamie, whose sister's called Ricky Martin, which I'm obsessed with.
I forgot
Ricky,
that.
you're great.
What, did she not know about Ricky Martin? When she
Her mum?
named- Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to ask Jamie. But
mum was
it's
really
spelled
girly.
quite cool. It's spelled. I like the spelling of Ricky's name. It's Rikki. I think that's cool. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's. But Jamie's got Ricky's name tattooed on her body, and it's in that like cool, like gothic text. It looks really cool.
With pointy bottoms.
Yes, exactly. Pointy ass. Anyway.
Oh crap! That's a pointy ass.
Oh crap! Oh crap! David, you let the cows in the yard again. Oh crap!
David.
I don't know. Lenny, the cows have crapped in the yard again. What did I say? Lenny?
Lenny,
Yeah.
I like. Yeah,
Lenny's
Lenny
better,
worked.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh crap! Lenny, the stove is boiling over. Deal with the potatoes, would you? I'm busy.
Anywho, who are we talking about?
Don't care. Clint.
Clint. Okay, well, there's more to talk about him in the next episode, but in this episode, there was just a very worrying moment where the show made us think that she was going to say she caught him having a wank. And I'm very glad that that wasn't the case.
Thank God.
I didn't want that for him.
No, me neither.
I find it hard talking about like experts saying things.
Yeah. Why is that?
Huh?
Why?
I didn't finish my sentence. I hadn't finished my sentence yet. I find it, talking of experts saying things, I find it hard that when Lauren talks about her need for strict gender roles and that she doesn't like Clint washing up, that the experts don't. I find it difficult to accept that people have to accept that as just a way of life and opinion.
Yeah.
To me, it's so obviously wrong. I'm like, can't you? It's mad that people aren't like, why do you think it's unmasculine to wash up? And like,
and
don't you want to share? Like,
they also did try and point that out. Who was it at the retreat? I think it was like Veronica or something.
Her peers did.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's just kind of, I know it's like, this is her choice and her political stance and her, but I'm just like, it's wrong though, isn't it?
Yeah, no, totally. I'm like, yeah, her choice, whatever, blah, wrong.
Yeah, wrong.
You're wrong. You're aggressive and you're boring.
Exactly. So we say goodbye, Morena.
Arrivederci. Sorry, that was so whiplash. Sorry. So we say goodbye, Morena. Okay. Arrivederci. No, we don't say goodbye. We say good riddance.
Good riddance. Is that what she wrote on her thing?
Yeah.
And she made such a wrestling entrance. Like,
you thought I was just going to leave him to change the narrative?
Did you really think I wouldn't come back? Well, yeah, because you weren't here. No one else said that apart from you not being here.
You weren't here.
You did it.
That's funny. That's so true.
Oh, I've just had enough of both of them by the end of it. And I did like it when they were grilling Tony at first and they were like, we didn't know you wanted kids at 53.
You want a child at 53, Tony? Did I not say? I forgot. No, you didn't say.
But I did start to think, I mean, I don't think it'd be possible to completely fabricate Morena. I don't think it would be possible to completely fabricate her personality. Like, you wouldn't be able to edit that fully into looking really bad. But I do think that it was emphasised by the editing. Mm-hmm. Because I reckon they did know that Tony wanted someone younger and they knew that they were stuffing her up. And so they villainised her fully.
Why would you stuff up someone who's been in an abusive relationship?
Bad,
and she's
isn't it?
57. Let
It's
the
bad.
fucking woman live.
I
Give her a nice
know.
person.
It's not good.
It's not on.
So I think they kind of drove her mad and then like really played it up.
Yeah, it's not good vibes.
I'm actually intrigued to look her up now because I almost got a spoiler at one point of her being something like Morena saying how she wanted to leave the show and she wasn't allowed and something. I think there's like acrimony with her in the show, so I'm intrigued.
I'm not surprised by that. Anyone that comes across really badly, there's always like something, like some kind of argument. And I'm not saying that means that they're in the wrong. Like, I do think that there's probably some weight to it. But also the way that she talked to the other people on the show was a bit hectic. But I also think Jamie knew, like, Jamie was like, that is what women like her are like. You know, European women. And speaking of European people in Australia, Paul and Karina, should we talk about that?
Yes,
so
definitely.
I loved that Alessandra said, like, did you hurt your hand or something? And then he was like, yeah, I'm fine. And she said, I'm not concerned about the well-being of your hand. I'm concerned at how hard you punched that door.
Yeah.
Which I was like, slay, true.
Yeah, because he was like, it's not about me. This is about her. You know, we're not here to talk about me. I'm fine. Shut up.
She was like, I wasn't asking that, my love.
Yeah, she was really not having any of it.
Yeah.
And also, I just think the way he keeps saying, I just lost control. I felt trapped. I lost control. It's like, what is it that you're controlling all the time, constantly?
Yes,
that's
totally.
like underneath.
Lost control is like a device used in court.
Yeah.
And I think, I can't remember if we spoke about this on the podcast or if we spoke about it separately, but it reminded me of that TV show with the fake trial that was recent. Did I talk about this on the show?
I don't know, but
on the podcast rather. The Channel 4 TV show that was about a trial, and it had two different juries to see if they would come up with the same.
It was a reenactment
verdict
of a real trial that had taken place,
and it was about a man who'd killed his wife.
Yeah,
and the defense was that he lost control.
Yeah.
It's so annoying that exists as a defense.
Yeah,
and
the
that
jury
people get away with it.
Came round to that so quickly.
Yeah, they were like, he lost control. She wound him up, so he lost control.
I actually feel quite sorry for the bloke.
I could lose control in any situation. I wouldn't fucking murder someone.
Yeah.
Are you mental? I could lose control and I wouldn't punch a door.
Yeah,
I'd punch a pillow if I needed to. Maybe I would punch a wall or a door.
Yeah,
are you crazy? It's not good.
Yeah,
loss of control is, and I do find that that's more scary to me than anything, because it's like, oh, you could literally just lose control at any point and murder me dead.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, exactly. What's underneath this? Like,
he was also like making me feel uncomfortable in the whole bit,
me too.
because he was like grabbing her shoulder, rubbing her thigh so intensely, weeping on her shoulder, and she
was really shut down. Wasn't she?
Yeah, totally. And she said that she was uncomfortable, but she was so shut down. Like, what the fuck else?
Yeah,
could she
as much
do?
as she can say, like, this is a passionate relationship, which was an interesting moment.
Yeah,
like, it doesn't look that way. It looks like you're completely shut down, frozen, and he's all over you, trying to, crying on you. And she
looks
did
like
say,
he's controlling the whole situation.
Yeah, and she did say she just feels really uncomfortable.
It almost feels like a flip of, if we're talking about codependent relationships with like Adrian and Athena, it's almost like, if we're looking at who's playing what role in the relationship, I almost feel like Paul is the Athena in the in this reverse of like the feeling one, the one full of expression, and the one that's like trying to, I don't know, control the situation. And I'm not saying this isn't a bad look on Athena, but what I mean more is that like Adrian is stoic and just kind of causing all the problems. And in reflection, like there's just always one person doing a lot and another person not doing a lot. And in this situation, Karina is just kind of sitting there and it's all just kind of happening to her. And I feel like I've messed this up, like in comparing her and Adrian, but I just mean that there is one person who's just a bit more like less is kind of happening. And when she's not doing a lot, and it's kind of like Paul is like acting to make her not do a lot and just respond to him. And in the situation of Athena and Adrian's doing fuck all, and that means that Athena's like desperately kind of like trying to get something out of him. You know what I mean? Anyway, I know they're different situations, but it's just interesting when you mentioned codependency earlier and how that works with two people. It kind of just has made me think of that.
Like
comparison.
a dynamic of extremes, and they're both leaning more into their extremes. But also there's an element of him that is saying that he needs to close down in those moments. He's saying he needs space, but the way he's acting isn't showing that. Like, he's saying he lost control because he didn't have space, but now he's not giving her any space in these moments.
That's so true. That's such a good point, Days. Yeah, I like that.
And what was really, there was so much that was alarming about this situation, but I hated that. Well, I hated that he brought out the love word all of a sudden.
That's what I've got written down as well. Like, that is so love bomby and also wrong.
Yeah.
That he was like, and then she was
When
just
he
like,
was
well,
like-
that makes me feel really sad.
Yeah.
I was starting to have love feelings. Well, you fucked it up, mate. You should have said that before. You didn't
Yeah.
say that before.
Yeah.
It really broke my heart when Mel said, like, this is not normal behaviour, sweetheart.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Mel, you're so soft.
I know.
She's so lovely.
She was really trying to, like, that. It could have sounded like patronising that she said sweetheart, but she was really trying to.
She was being
get
really
through to her.
nice. Yeah.
And yeah, because Karina said that really worrying thing where she was like, the way he feels about people that I've been with in my past, and the way he reacts when I've said that I've been with other people, that just shows that he cares about me. I was like, oh my God.
And she said that this whole argument shows that this is a real relationship.
This is passion. This is European dynamic.
And I loved that Alessandra said, as a Latina, I know passion, and this is not passion.
Yeah.
So cool. Love them. Mel and Alessandra did really well there.
Yeah, they did.
So, okay, one thing I will commend the experts on for this situation is all of that. And also, I like that they offered de-escalating strategies for Paul.
Yeah.
Remember they said we're gonna work with you individually and offer you some de-escalating strategies to like get you away from your anger. And I was like, that's good. That is what they should be offering.
That is
and
good,
I hope they do.
rather than trying to fucking make him angrier so something else happens again.
Quite, yeah.
Yeah, they if they're choosing to keep him in the show, they should be responsible for trying to resolve that.
Yeah, and it felt like they were taking responsibility to like look out for her well-being in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do just feel like if anything happened again, Karina is now going to be so much less likely to tell people because she just found the whole thing so uncomfortable.
Well, I'm sorry, but jumping ahead slightly, I'm really mad at Karina for being on Lauren's side. There was like a preview to the next episode.
Yeah. We're not there yet.
And going against Jamie though.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. I agree, but I did think there were points at which Jamie was taking it a bit far. Jamie was getting a bit carried away with winding Lauren up.
I find it really hard because I'm so team Jamie all the way.
No, me too. But that doesn't mean that she always does everything perfectly.
Yeah.
Like I love Jamie.
What I'm like with pedestals. I find it very difficult. I put everyone on a pedestal. I'm even putting Jamie on a pedestal.
Well, Lauren is like horrid and says really nasty things about people. I mean, imagine like criticizing Adrian for the way he speaks. It's just really terrible.
I can't believe anyone would criticize Adrian for the way he speaks. So disrespectful. So offensive. So cool.
It's actually unforgivable.
It is unforgivable. And if you ever heard that, I'd not listen to that person ever again.
Yeah, exactly. Whoops. So I understand why Jamie is pissed off at her, but the whole thing of them being like, well, we're all staying here and you've got to be faithful to the experiment, like that's all just like some culty weird shit. Like this isn't actually like, if someone wants to leave, they can leave.
And I do understand why they're pissed off though, because they're only pissed off because they're jealous because she's going against what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
I still somehow, I hate Lauren's views, but for some reason I just don't hate her that much. I have complicated feelings towards her.
Understandable underneath it. I think she's another one that seems like she might have been bullied. She's very uncomfortable in a group and she's turned that all into just criticizing people.
Yeah.
And it's like at a really poisonous level, like the way the snobbiness, the kind of calling everyone
where
a bogan.
She does think, I mean, also she's fucking bogan as hell.
Exactly.
She's so boganic.
Look at that two-piece that she was wearing around the fire. Look at
that hair piece, that is boganic. If she's going to say anyone's boganic.
So she's running away from something, just embrace it.
I was gonna say
like Jamie is boganic, but in a fabulous way. I love it.
And she's also like fun and has nice morals.
Yeah.
So leave her alone. Yeah, it's all a bit complicated.
Also, being bogan isn't bad. Like, that's just classist.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it is classist.
But I know what you mean. I think.
Oh, and also she called up Athena's hair extensions, which I didn't respect.
No, that was really mean.
That was a low blow.
That was a low blow. She needs to find a better way of expressing herself about her feelings of overwhelm, and like it did look like a group that would be very overwhelming if you're an introvert.
Yeah, totally.
I can understand that, and there was quite a lot of
there's like a daunting element of knowing that you've suddenly got 4 nights with these people. I would understand even though I'd be a part of the problem for a lot of people.
So with the Jamie thing, like, yeah, Jamie's my favourite all the way, but bizarrely, she was part of giving me a moment of almost feeling bad for Jacqui this week. Because
interesting. I definitely did have sympathy for Jacqui this week.
Yeah.
But tell me why.
Jamie is such a easily fits into any social situation person. She's like at the top end of the social hierarchy.
Yeah.
And we've commended her before on not being like cliquey or anything because of that. But she does find it easy. Jacqui and Lauren don't find it easy. Jacqui, as you said when we were watching, like, it was quite nice to see her talking about sex with the girls, which she should be allowed to do because she was like bonding with them and being normal.
Yeah, I thought it was really nice that she was like trying to.
And Jacqui and Jamie, she'd had a couple of drinks, like she was just having fun, but she shouldn't have shouted that in front of everyone. And then Jacqui was in trouble for it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of brought out in quite a verging on mean way.
And it's that thing again that we said before about Jacqui being bullied by everyone, like everyone kind of like knowing something that she doesn't, and it's like kind of unfair, even though she is insane.
She's completely bonkers. And obviously Ryan is much the worst, the most to blame in this situation.
This is the most, and we said this to each other, this is the most Andrew Tate thing that you've I mean we presume this is
the
testosterone
thing.
Yeah, hold, and also the fact that it was called Test. She called it Test. I was like, is that a testicles thing? Oh, then I realized. Then testosterone came up.
It's Andrew Tate. It's that guy, the guy that wants to live till he's 200 that we've mentioned before.
Yeah.
It's all of those reels of it's the man putting his face in the ice at 4:30
and getting up at 3 a.m. for no reason at all. And I felt bad for Jacqui in a lot of ways, and also respected her in a lot of ways, actually, surprisingly. Weird turn of events in this episode. Because I felt like she was actually just asking, hey guys, is this normal? Because this is a random thing. And I haven't come across this before. Can you tell me if your guys do this?
It was a bit heartbreaking, wasn't it?
And I fucking love that when Ryan told her off for it, she said, well, you can talk about sex whenever you want. Yeah. I was like, slay, that's so true.
I know, because she looked a little bit like she was going into herself. And then I was like, thank God she came up with that.
Yeah,
like, so hypocritical.
You've been talking about me, how good I am at head.
He was pathetic in this episode.
Oh my God,
he
was
up,
pathetic.
Ryan.
It was the whole kind of can we edit out that bit because I don't want to embarrass her thing again, like of like you're trying to look like a certain guy but you're not that guy. Let it go.
He's such
Let
a creep.
Let it go, brother.
He's such a creep. The way he told Beth that she wasn't classy for saying pussy. Well, you're just, and then later he was like, I don't want to talk about my wife's vagina in that way.
When he said that, I was like, ew. Like, don't say my wife's vagina.
They're having fun. Like, they can say pussy if they want. Your wife isn't embarrassed. She wants to talk about it. Don't be such a freak. Like, he's making just the mention of anything disgusting and shameful because I don't know. He's just...
I loved that also TJ was like, well, if I knew that had happened, I probably wouldn't, if that happened to me, I probably wouldn't have called your wife classless. I was like, yeah. Okay, king. Okay, TJ is our bisexual king.
Yeah, I think
Sorry, we've decided that TJ is bisexual.
His whole look is just a little too neat.
Obsessed with Clint.
love Clint.
Sorry, I'm saying TJ's obsessed with Clint.
I was saying we're obsessed with Clint.
Well, we're also obsessed with Clint.
Sort of.
I'm not obsessed. I'm not obsessed.
I'm
I feel
obsessed
funny
with
about
feeling
Clint.
sorry for him.
Yeah, I feel bad for Clint, but I'm also like, why do you like Lauren so much? You absolute freak.
I did love Clint until he said, "Don't come for Lauren."
No, he did not say don't come for Lauren. He said don't come for Loz.
Oh.
Loz is, I'm sorry, this is objective fact. Loz from Lauren is the worst nickname I've ever heard.
It's disgusting.
And it's not the only time I've heard it. I'm just like, heard it. It's crap. Loz is so bad.
It's awful.
Loz is the worst name. TJ...
Yeah, TJ's obsessed with Clint.
He also said, I'm a lad's lad and a boy's boy. And he was also talking about seeing Chris Hemsworth in Byron Bay. And there is nothing wrong with this. I like it. I hope he is bisexual, and I hope that Beth is happy with it.
Beth could be bisexual as well.
Yeah, she could fuck with that. They could have
She's never had a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Come on. She's like 30.
Mind. Bisexual's fun.
Yeah.
One thing that also Ryan said was, he was saying, this is my lifestyle and you were fine with it, Jacqui, and it served me well for 15 20 years. Wait a second. You are how old? 36. It's been serving you well since you were 15. I think not, my love. I don't even think he's 36. Ew. He must be younger. You haven't been shagging since that long, you absolute freak. And also he said to Jacqui, if I didn't feel this way, why would we be having sex this much? And then Jacqui was like, we've had sex 3 times.
He was like, we had it last Friday night.
Yeah, last Friday night. So specific.
Oh my God. And then he was like, if you're counting, don't stop.
No.
Oh God.
Oh, it's so weird.
He's just such a loser, but also I still feel sorry for him in those group moments because I'm like, you just
he's tragic. You're
just drowning.
Yeah. The place where the girls went was called Nutting Hill. It's like almost like a drag queen like venue.
Yeah.
And they just like zoomed in it. It was like wedding venue, Nutting Hill. I was like,
that's bizarre.
Also, one other note.
Yeah.
When we were watching it, and Elliot said, we're all going to sit around the campfire, and we're not going to sing around the campfire and sing Kumbaya.
You hate that.
Kumbaya. Don't say.
You hate it when people say
we're just going to sing Kumbaya. I hate that
Have
one.
you ever sung Kumbaya?
Of course I have. I was in the Brownie Girl Guides.
Sorry. Girl Guides.
The Brownie Girl Guides.
So it disrespects.
The
pure.
Kumbaya, my Lord.
I've sung it too.
Wherever you sing it.
Hippies.
What's that about then? Hippies all is this the right wing to left pipeline circle situation? Because it's like, this is my Lord. That's Jesus.
Some hippies like Jesus though.
Yeah, it's confusing to me.
My final note.
Yeah.
Jamie loves Dave. Join the bloody club.
Oh my God. Join the title of ep. Are we actually in love with Dave? Title of ep. Can Dave from MAFS turn 2 lesbians straight? You googled a bit too much.
Oh, so did you?
Just joking. Love you. Answer is no.
But she didn't let him answer. What do you think? Do you think he loves her back?
I'm not sure. Why didn't she let him
Are you
answer?
going to come up with the goods, Dave, when it really matters?
Because he could be like, I love you, I love you, I love you. In that moment. Oh, but she wants his babies. It's so cute.
That's really cute.
Really adorable. I love it.
I need food now. I need to...
Rabarimba kumbaya. Well,
Rabbit in my
oh,
kumbaya.
what? That's the other one.
What?
Trip the Light Fantastic.
That is
vile. Disgusting.
That is vile.
Don't ever say that in my presence.
That is horrible.
I'll disown you. Well, Bolognese time.
Bolognese. Mucho leve. I love you.
Mucho leve. Love you, darling.
Love you.
Bye.